We'll just record a bunch of them.
Ready?
Yeah. That'll do. Hello and welcome to the Make Do Review podcast with me, Emily.
And me, Jack.
Today we are taking you to a whole new world by reviewing the Aladdin live action film.
Very well done.
Very well done. I think
Well
we both
done.
enjoyed it.
Great wordplay there.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's the only one I had.
How are you, Emily?
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm doing well.
good. We actually have some amazing news for our listeners here. Emily has now been represented as an actor.
Yeah, I have.
So,
As of this morning.
congratulations, Emily.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
so proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Big things, we hope.
We hope. Yeah.
Maybe I'll be in the next Disney live action.
I think you should be. What princess would you be?
100% Rapunzel.
Yeah. You grow that hair out.
If they cast anyone else before me, I'm going to be really mad.
You'll be first at the door.
But I have to
And-
tell you guys now, Princess Jasmine, A star.
Yeah?
She was really good.
How about we get to the facts first?
I think we should.
So, we watched Aladdin, released in the 22nd of May 2019, directed by Guy Ritchie, who also directed the Sherlock films with Robert Downey Jr., starring Will Smith as the genie, and Mina Masood as Aladdin, and also Naomi Scott as Jasmine, and Marwan Kenzari as Jafar. With a budget of $183 million, the box office grossed over $1 billion.
Wow.
And it is, as of now, Will Smith's highest grossing movie that he has starred in. And doesn't that just blow your mind?
Yeah.
Will Smith, like one of the biggest actors out there, and Aladdin is his biggest movie.
In some ways, I can understand that though, because Aladdin's probably got a
Yeah,
really big
I can
audience.
understand that. I don't know, like I can understand that it's a big movie, but Will Smith's biggest with his like career, crazy.
That is quite mad.
So Emily, what did you think, without spoiling, of Aladdin 2019?
Well, straight off the bat, really loved Jasmine. Really strong character. Really strong female character, actually. I wasn't too sure about Aladdin. I wasn't sure whether he was coming off as more cocky than charming at first. And I'm still a bit unsure now. But the overall film, really enjoyed, really feel good. And it's just such a beautiful visual to watch as well. So many bright colours, incredible costumes, really lovely set. The CGI was a bit full on, but then I guess because there's magic in it, it had to be. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I definitely would watch this again. What about you?
It's a difficult one. The original animated film is like top 3 maybe, or top 5 of my favorite Disney animated films. And obviously anyone's going to come into this film and be like, there's no Robin Williams, it's not going to be good. And Will Smith had massive shoes to fill in, and he even admitted that himself. Apparently on set he was absolutely terrified.
Yeah.
But he made it his own thing. And he said that he tried to make it his own performance while paying tribute to Robin Williams, which I think he did actually.
He definitely made it his own. I didn't feel like he was trying to be Robin
No,
Williams. It was
you got the similar lines, but it was definitely Will Smith's performance. It wasn't a knockoff or a, like, you know, an impersonation.
yeah, and it wasn't a bad performance either. So
No,
no.
but it's just it's a difficult one. As soon as the film started, I was just a bit like taken aback. Like it had a pacing issue. I think the whole film had a pacing issue, to be honest. It was like either it was like really full on or it would stick to this one scene for too long,
Yeah.
you know? But I have to say, like, I think Will Smith did a pretty great job with what he was given. I prefer Will Smith as human Will Smith rather than the genie Will Smith.
Yeah.
I still think it didn't look as good. I think the memes, like, you know, they still stick to the back of my head, you know? But I have to say, I did not like Aladdin, like the whole way through the movie. I did not like Aladdin. I don't know if it was just bad direction or it was just a character choice by Mina. But I don't know. I really didn't like him, but I totally agree with you. I thought Naomi Scott as Princess Jasmine was actually amazing. She was the standout of the film.
Yeah.
She was,
really was.
and you said an interesting thing when we were watching the film that it was more of a Jasmine story than an Aladdin story.
I mean, obviously, it does end up following Aladdin, but for a good portion of
Like
it,
the
I
whole
felt
first act is kind of all about Jasmine.
yeah,
at
and
one
I
point.
felt like almost they were kind of Disney had decided to show a bit more of a let's show the story of a strong young woman who is educated, who doesn't need a man by her side to rule,
yeah.
who
Which
wasn't going to be silenced.
Yeah,
and,
which I thought that was pretty clear in the original as well. I think Jasmine's probably one of the strongest like princesses out there because she said no to, you know, and she she stood her ground.
But I feel like with this new song and its reprise of Speechless, it kind of said that even more. And like, she didn't really dance it, but like the movements and her facial expressions that she did during the song,
she was a great performer.
It was
like
really
when it
strong,
came to the songs, I think she was like, apart from Will Smith, I thought she was like the top of like doing the songs.
Yeah,
but we'll get to that. And I'm just gonna straight out say, Jafar was awful. I hated him. He was not menacing, and it was so bland. And you know, I don't think the actor blinked once in the the whole movie.
The thing is, I can see how as a character choice, you would decide to make him very monotone and very blank and unreadable.
He obviously went with one thing, and then he stood by it.
Yeah, but the thing is, once he kind of had been that monotone menacing, like there's a time and a place for that, and I just didn't feel like it was for the whole
movie. Yeah, it was the whole thing.
That is our dog howling. If you can hear the howling in the background,
I definitely can.
he enjoyed singing along to the movie as well.
It is a full moon tonight. He has to howl. Should we just get into spoilers now?
I think we should. Amazing.
Where to start? First of all, I want to like shout out Nazmine Pedrad. Hopefully, I'm saying that correctly. Who played Dahlia? I recognized her from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She plays Jake's long lost sister. And I actually really liked her character. She was a nice standout, and she was a nice comic relief. And it was quite sweet at the end to see like Genie, instead of like the ending being Genie's just free and then it's just Genie being Genie, it was Genie becoming human, and then he actually makes a family and lives a life and travels around the world. I actually thought it was a really nice, sweet ending.
Yeah, because obviously it starts off the film with him with these kids and a woman on the boat, and he tells them the story.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too sure whether he was telling the story and he kind of placed himself as the genie, like in a story to his kids, or like what? And so it was nice to kind of see that circle back.
Because I thought it was kind of like, you know how in the original, at the beginning of the animated film, it's like the merchant, and that's
Yeah.
also voiced by Robin Williams. I thought it was that whole kind of thing. Like, but they just changed it up, so it's just the family telling the story of the great Prince Ali or
Yeah.
whatever, and the genie. But it was really sweet. I thought
was.
it was I thought the ending was the best thing. Well, the end. I like the change that they made to the ending.
Yeah.
Actually,
It worked well.
yeah, it was. Because at the beginning, when you kind of first meet Genie, and he's like, and Aladdin asks him, "What would you wish for?" I noticed that he actually says, "I wish to be human, to be free," and I picked up on that because obviously, in the original, it's just I want to be free, you know. But in this case, he wants to live a life, like a normal life.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a nice change. And the whole movie, there's like little tiny changes throughout the movie. And you know, I spotted a few, like they just made like subtle changes, and of course I can't think of one.
I know, but I would love to go back now and rewatch the animated.
Oh yeah, I would like to rewatch that. It makes me want to watch the original.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to get into next is the songs, which I think are missing the energy and like, you know, do you know, like the excitement.
The only ones that I felt had the excitement were when he's coming in, Prince Ali. I can't remember the actual title. Is that the actual title of the song?
Prince Ali.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one, because it's such a big musical number and they could roll with it.
Sure.
And then what was the other one I was gonna say?
Is it the One Jump? When he's running away from the guards?
No.
Well, that's the one I thought was horrible.
Yeah.
What's the scene you're trying to think of?
No. Oh, A Whole New World. A Whole New World was really beautiful because it was quite. It was a different vibe.
It was beautiful because
film.
Naomi Scott killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the visuals were quite nice, but because we were saying, you know, we'd love to go and see the musical now on stage because the songs.
Exactly.
I felt like they could have been bigger.
But doesn't that make you feel like if you are thinking, if you're watching this film and then you're like, oh, I really want to watch the original, or I really want to see this in Broadway now, doesn't that make you think, oh, this is not good then? Because I know there's a better version out there instead of this version.
I think it's just like I want to see the other versions so I can like compare. Because I think in the theatre they can do these songs really big.
It makes me want to see it in theatre now because I can imagine how much of a spectacle it is. Yeah. Which I think this movie drops the ball on.
Yeah.
It's not a spectacle. It's just, especially like the songs like Friend Like Me, I thought it was just so off. It was just really off. It didn't feel like it and I don't know if it's just because you grew up with the Robin Williams one and it's just perfect because it's Robin Williams and it was Disney letting him do what he wanted. So the way that they wrote most of the story was letting Robin Williams do what he wanted and then they wrote around him.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's what made it so great because he had that freedom. Whereas, I don't know, I felt like the whole movie was missing something. A better Jafar. That's what I was missing. I don't want to be.
I mean, to be fair, he made a choice and he stuck with the choice.
I don't want to be mean, but it was just I couldn't hack it. I really couldn't hack it. You know, it's like Jafar. It's like I kept saying to you, like when you look back at the original, and you see all the subtle things, like how desperate he is, and like how excited he is, like to get the lamp, and you know, and how menacing he is, and you know, it's brilliant. Whereas in this one, he was just a dude. That's all I saw was just some guy who just wanted to be powerful, and you know, he was just so like beady-eyed and like, I will be the most powerful sultan.
I'll tell you what what else I missed that you mentioned was missing was the little joke about how old Jafar is.
Yeah, it's the best joke.
When he says, I want to marry Jasmine, and he's, but you're so old. And he's like hypnotized and he comes out of it.
Yeah, because he's hypnotizing him. It's like, let me marry your daughter. It's like, yes, you will but you're so old.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's and it's so funny because I've seen it recently on Twitter, like resurface, like, why does no one talk about this joke in Aladdin, like the greatest joke ever? It's like, it's brilliant. Yeah, because he's like a young guy. He looks like the same age as Jasmine and, Aladdin.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really didn't like it. I'm not hating on the actor. I'm hating on the choices. I'm sure he could have done a great job, but, he didn't.
We just didn't like the direction that his character took.
Nah, not really. Is there any other changes that you liked or didn't like?
I thought it was interesting in A Friend Like Me.
Yeah.
There was slight changes to make like cultural references to now.
Like what?
It was a bit more rap singing.
Oh, when he starts beatboxing, I hated that. I hated that.
Which is something that I'd noticed. I don't know if anyone else has seen this. Have you seen it? Yes, you have. Mary Poppins Returns.
Yeah, we watched it together.
When they have the a cover is not a book, and that's got like this singing, rapping. It's a very in thing right now.
Oh, to like add rap to.
Yeah, and I just didn't necessarily feel it. And the same with
even with Will Smith doing it. I mean, he didn't rap.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it was kind of more. It was more every time Will Smith was in a song, it was Will Smith adding his flair. So every now and again, you'll get a what, yeah, like that kind of thing.
I really like the Hamilton soundtrack, so I like that vibe, but I just don't know if it works sometimes.
Guys, I swear I like rap.
But sometimes it just feels a bit out of place when the rest of it is all musical theatre.
It's definitely a musical.
And then you shove this one in.
Yeah.
It jarred me a little bit. Like, not because it was bad, but just because it was out of place a little bit.
I'm truly trying to think if there was a song in the remake that I actually liked. Do you know what I mean?
The new one?
Yeah. I hated One Jump. I thought it was cut really weird, and it was just very. I didn't like it. I didn't like the changes they made as well. Friend Like Me, I thought it was okay, but once again it just felt a bit off. I think I liked Prince Ali. I thought that was good.
Yeah, I did like that one.
But with a song so big, like A Whole New World, like massive song, I literally missed it. Do you know what I mean? Like, we were watching the film, and I was like, and I was kind of like, oh, we're in a whole new world. Oh, right,
and then we started singing along and not really paying attention.
Exactly. It's like you do sing along, but the only thing I liked from that scene was Naomi Scott. She's got an incredible voice. I
have to say,
I liked her new song.
Yeah,
I think I liked it. Yeah,
I did. I'm not the way they filmed the reprise was very artistically different.
It was weird
because it had like them kind of fading and things moving.
It was her. It was obviously her thinking her way through
what she was going to do.
What she was going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which yeah.
It was different to the rest of the film. In that kind
there was a lot of weird
vibe.
There was a lot of weird magical moments. Like it just I didn't like some of the effects they used.
It's like because it's the same thing in like Rocket Man and
Bohemian Rhapsody,
where there's like
it just changes
of artistic flair that are so different from the rest of the vibe. It's a bit like, what is this?
And I can literally name scenes from those two movies. So in Rocket Man is when he's singing Rocket Man, and he turns into a rocket.
Yeah.
And that was so off-putting, and it looks terrible. And Bohemian Rhapsody, when all of a sudden it kind of changes. It's when they're on tour.
Yeah.
So the way they showed that, it was like it would be Freddie Mercury popping in, and all of a sudden the texts of like the city they're in, and it's just so jarring and like, oh, the genre change.
Like it wouldn't look like jar as much if these films had that kind of consistently, but they
Consistency.
don't. So it jars,
yeah,
and that's what I felt like. The song itself was really good, but the way they shot it and the vibe of that, I was a bit like, oh, this is different and weird. What's going on here?
Because I thought like when it showed her at the throne and it was kind of fading out, I thought it was gonna like fade into her in like a jail cell or something, like she's been captured. But then all of a sudden she's just back to where she was, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh right, I get it now. But yeah,
I mean, it was definitely clever. It was just different.
it was, yeah.
I feel like we like this film, and they were like,
I know every time I'm like, I really don't know. I don't know if I liked it. I definitely didn't hate it.
Yes.
It's like when the first trailer came out, I was like, I am going to hate this movie with a passion. It is not going to be good. It looks so bad. I even remember when they showed the first pictures of like Will Smith and Aladdin and Jasmine in their costumes on the Entertainment Weekly, I think, magazine. I sent you the screenshot straight away, and I was like, look at the state of this. This is horrible.
I have to say, like right from the start, when I saw the adverts and the photos and stuff, it has been one of those films where I'm like, do I like it or not? And now that I've seen it, I'm still like, I liked it, but
yeah,
there's a but. I just don't know.
There wasn't enough for me to be like, to say enough good things. You know, like all I can do right now is nitpick. That's all I want to do with this film, because it's a remake. And that's the problem with remakes nowadays, is all I can think about is the original. Like all I can think about is, oh, that's different from the original. Like when we were watching it, I noticed they cut the jail scene when Aladdin's in the jail and Jafar has to convince him and he's an old man. I was like, why did they get rid of that? But all of a sudden, it was just a case of like, oh, you know, Jafar's just going to take him to the Cave of Wonders.
And I think the problem is with it being a remake like that is you nitpick, but you can't say whether or not it's like a good change or a bad change. It's just different.
Yeah. But the one thing I will say, like, all the slagging and all the memes made about Will Smith and all that, he did a pretty good job,
Oh, yeah,
man.
he did.
Yeah, it was brilliant. He was a character. Everyone else wasn't really. He went big and bold. He added his own flair. I actually thought he was really funny at some points as well. And, you know, I have to say, Will Smith, like, you know, the day that I found out Will Smith was casted, I thought, yeah, Will Smith. Who else would it be? You know what I mean? You're like, oh, who else could do it? Yeah, Will Smith. That's a great choice.
I'll tell you what other character made me laugh.
Okay.
The magic carpet.
Oh, yeah. Magic carpet.
The magic carpet had a lot of sass for being a
yeah,
carpet.
it was kind of like the original. Yeah, like it was very like sassy. And
carpet showed up again. Nailed it.
And you can tell, and it's great animation. Like you
Yeah.
can tell what it's trying to say.
And Abu.
Yeah.
Abu always annoyed me, even as a child, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't mind Abu in the original.
Not like I don't like him. He just annoyed me, like an annoying younger brother that I have.
That's another thing I wanted to bring up about this film that was so jarring. It was the amount of green screen in this film.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not even good green screen. It's just...
Oh, I'm just letting you know the time.
Okay, thank you. You know, it like, fair enough when using green screen. Like, you have like the Marvel movies, which is pretty much like, what, 80% green screen? And but that looks good. When you have a good team, You know, with the Marvel films, obviously they've made a team throughout 10 years of filmmaking, and when you make this, that's the problem with like these animated remakes, is most of them have like some form of like magic, or you know, like Lion King was is it's all animals, so it has, most of it has to be digital anyway. So it's a remake, but most everything they have to use is animated mostly. Like the genie's animated, the carpet's animated, the animals are animated, the location is mostly green screened. And I hated it. It was so jarring. Like, but it's annoying because they, every time when it changed to a set piece, it was great. You know,
Yeah.
when he's running through the market, it's colorful. All the colorful sheets down, and you know, and it's the costumes are
Yeah.
brilliant, and you know, and it looks great when they're in the palace. It looks great because it's an actual set.
This
But
is the thing I
yeah,
have to say, on the whole, like on the industry as a whole,
yeah,
there is definitely a vibe difference between films that use, and like in the slightly older films that did use more set
yeah.
than now. And I understand for certain things like the magic, they do need to be CGI'd, but there's some stuff where I'm thinking, if you, I know it's a thing of budget and saving money and this and the other,
But it's
but
Disney. They have the budget.
yeah, and it's just, if you had actually made that physical thing, and I think it reflects in the actors as well. When you're in it, you're gonna feel it more, aren't you?
Sure.
So
Because like with some of the actors, they were like in and out. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes the performances were really nice and touching, and then all of a sudden it's really weird and jarring. Um, which is why I didn't like Aladdin as a character. Honestly, I'm gonna say he was an asshole the whole way through. I did not like him. You know, he was trying to be like, oh, you know, hey, I'm Aladdin. You know, like in the original, he's charming and he's like witty, and you know, he's got that street smart. He can outwit other people. Oh, that was something I did not understand. Was the first wish when they're in the cave and he's trying to get out of the cave.
oh yeah,
So in the original, what happens is Aladdin outsmarts the genie by making him like get him out of the cave by saying like, I don't know, Abu, this genie doesn't, he can't even get us out of this cave. You know,
yeah.
he what kind of all powerful genie can't even get us out of a cave? And then he shows him, outsmarts him, boom. That's the only time you can do that to me. But in this, they changed the rules, so now the only time they can make a wish is if they rub the lamp. They can't
Yeah.
just say, I wish this. They have to rub the lamp and then say, I wish. So what Aladdin does is the Abu like sneaks it behind his back and then he makes it look like he rubbed the lamp. But then it doesn't make sense because surely wouldn't the genie just know he rubbed the lamp anyway? Because if you have to rub the lamp, then surely wouldn't he just know that he
He
did
can
rub
only
it?
do it because he knows.
Yeah,
that it's
exactly. You know, and I didn't like that. And it was so jarring that as soon as they got out, I was legit like, wait, what happened? Did he actually wish it this time? Because he actually says, I wish for you to get us out of here. Like he actually says it in this film, whereas in the last film he tricks him. And that's the whole point. He didn't actually say, like, the whole point is, I didn't actually wish for it.
Maybe it's a moral thing for Disney to be like, no blackmailing, no trickery,
No trickery
blackmail.
in our films. But he did trick him, but
Only by the books.
yeah, and it was just so weird. And then they did the whole, whoa, let's rewind that. And then
Oh, that was weird.
that was, yeah, wasn't it? And then all of a sudden they're in a cinema. Yeah, and there's another like modern day reference, which obviously the original had loads of pop culture references. You know, because it's Robin Williams just doing impersonations of like different actors and stuff. You know, he impersonated Arnold Schwarzenegger and you know Jack Nicholson and all that. But yeah, and then all of a sudden, Genie, like Will Smith's Genie, like watches the playback and he's like, "Oh, the old monkey behind the back trick. Oh, all right, okay, that's fine." And then that's it. They're over it. You know what I mean? It's just moments like that. Like those are the little changes where I was like, "What? That's just weird."
Yeah, I think I have to say, like, overall, I feel like you have to watch this film as a separate film because there are so many like little changes and pop culture references to now that you can't compare it really to the old one
Well,
in
you
a detailed
can,
way.
yeah, because there's like the similar dialogue and it's got
Because
the same beats.
it's kind of the same formula that they did before, which is,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like you were saying with Robin Williams doing the impressions of famous actors then. There's the pop culture references that are relevant to now and songs and little changes that are maybe for more modern audiences now that yeah, I can see how as a child growing up with this one, like you get it and it wouldn't seem weird.
Oh yeah, it's a great movie for kids. 100%. You know. Oh.
We just gave each other a look like, oh.
Yeah, it's a good kids movie. And obviously it did really well, you know, which means that Disney's just going to continue this money train and make more remakes. I mean, we've got more to come. Actually, that's a good question. What is the next remake? Because I know Maleficent's coming out, which
Mulan.
Mulan, yeah, which is getting a lot of flack right now. I can't remember why.
Mulan's not going to have songs in it.
It's not gonna have songs, and it's not gonna have Mushu.
No.
Yeah, which fair enough.
They are making it almost so different that it's going to be a completely different film almost.
And I think it's because of the misrepresentation of the Chinese culture. Yeah, pretty much, because apparently the Chinese actually hate the original Mulan because it doesn't represent their culture.
I mean, props to like I understand Disney's buying up everything, which is a bit crazy.
Disney will rule the world.
They're taking over, but props to them. Like in more recent years, even with like Frozen, they're really starting to kind of change the messages and vibe of things a little bit
with their female characters,
with the
especially
female characters, and being a bit more diverse and culturally
and even like making fun of like their old traits as well.
Yeah,
especially like even in Frozen when it was like you can't just marry someone you just met.
Yeah,
even though in Aladdin it still kind of happens. But yeah, I don't know, it's another remake to me, you know. I actually haven't seen many of the remakes. I haven't seen Jungle Book. I haven't seen the new Lion King.
Jungle Book was good.
I heard the Jungle Book is good. We need to see Lion King because I'm very curious. Yeah.
I'm not going to go on that rant because that's about Lion King.
What rant?
About how it's not a live action because it's
we'll get there. We'll watch the film and we'll rant for 40 minutes straight about how it's not it's not live action. It's animated. Pretty much. Okay, so Emily, do you have anything else to say about Aladdin?
Not apart from kind of my summary.
Sure, do you want to give your summary and your rating out of 5?
My summary is definitely see this film. It's good fun. The colours and costumes and the set is amazing. Will Smith is great as his own version of the genie.
Yeah.
Jasmine is bae. She is fantastic.
Jasmine is Sultan.
Jasmine is Sultan.
Jasmine. Oh, that was another change. They made her Sultan.
How can we forget that? They made her Sultan. Yeah.
I like that.
She, like Naomi played her so well. Such strong acting, such a strong character. Love the direction they took with her.
Yeah.
Definitely watch it. It is just different from the original. In some ways, I didn't like it. And some ways I did like it better. Yeah. So, you know, just watch it and see what you
just
think.
Watch it, please. Disney needs more money.
And sing along to A Whole New World, because how can you watch it and not?
A whole new world.
So my rating out of 5.
It's intense.
3.25.
3.25? Why you gotta be weird?
Because, like, a 3.
You're being too generous.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. You want to be really generous.
It's slightly above a 3.
Why don't you just give it a 3.3 then? 7 point.
Because 3.25 is in between
or
3 and
3.5.
3 and 5.
Why don't you just give it a 3.5?
No, I'm sticking to my guns. It's a 3.25.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. And everything in between. 3.5. 3.25.
3.25.
I agree. There wasn't anything that I preferred to this film to the original. I don't think. I think the original is perfect, and this one is okay.
Apart from Jasmine becoming Sultan.
That was a nice moment. It was a nice touch. Instead of just being the Sultan deciding you can marry whoever you want, it's now you're the Sultan. I'm old. I can't run this place as well as you can.
Yeah, if you want to change the law to marry who you want, you go ahead and do it.
You do it. Oh, that would have been nice, actually. But yeah, honestly, the standout is Naomi Scott. Not even Will Smith. Great performance, great vocals. I really liked the new song. It was a nice message, and I'm loving, and I love seeing strong women on screen. Especially in Disney films nowadays. It's a nice change from bland and damsel in distress.
Yep.
You know, I'm sick of that. And I'm sure everyone's sick of that. Will Smith is Will Smith, and he
filled those big shoes well.
And he did great, and props to him. It would not have been an easy task, and I did like him. I preferred him as human Genie, but it's still Blue Genie is still distracting. It wasn't nice. A lot of the CG wasn't good in this film. Aladdin is not my least favorite character in the film, but he's not even top 3. So, and Jafar, nah, did not like him. I'm going to give Aladdin, I will give Aladdin 3 carpets out of 5. 3 magic carpets out of 5.
Fantastic.
So, there you go. Thank you so much for listening into our podcasts and our review of Aladdin 2019. My name is Jack.
My name is Emily.
And that will do it.
That will do.